of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Good afternoon and welcome to an A.H.A.D moment, the calm before the storm. I'm your host, Minister A.H.A.D, and with me have Brother Fakir Abdul-Aziz, Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, and Holy Queen Mother Rabbi Saleem. May Ahezaah's peace and other blessings be with them by everyone's presence.
May Ahezaah's peace and other blessings be with them.
We want to greet our new audience out there in Brooklyn. Wish you the peace and blessing of the Lord Most High to be about your presence. This show is called an A.H.A.D moment, the calm before the storm, and we would like, I guess, a little introduction about who we are and what this program is all about. One of the aims of this program of our A.H.A.D moments is to present the messenger and prophet of the Lord Most High for this day and time, Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, as part of the prophecy that is mentioned in the books of Malachi and the books of Revelations concerning the hours of the day that is being manifested at hand. And one of the aims of this program is to get this message out of the education that we've been taught and presented to you as opinion, and that we think that we hope you'll take in and investigate. And think about what's being said as you look out into your world outside of your windows and realize that the hour of hand that the Lord has promised in the books of His holy books of covenant to come today is you're seeing it for yourself at first hand. You see the terrifying news events like the bombing that's happened in Mumbai, all these things that are happening, from the tsunami to the strange weather patterns to the volatile situations going on in the world, from the Iraq war to what's going on in Afghanistan, even to here at home that's taking place. You know, with that, we like to share, like I said, the opinions and the views of what we've been educated in here to you of this viewing this program this evening. With that, I hope the sisters and brothers on this program and the messenger himself give forth a greater view and insight to what's being seen as you watch the world go down as the signs of apocalypse are being manifested today. With that being said, Holy Apostle, Holy Queen, my brother.
Brother, may Ahezaah's peace and other blessings be about your presence. And Lord
Holy-Apostle
Deen, Holy Queen Mother. Just to add on, we did mention the stock market. The stock market is crashing today, where the news for many months before would try to play it down to say that it was a recession, it was a minor downturn. Now they're using the great scary word depression. You mentioned the weather patterns, and it may bring to mind what's going on out there in California with all the forest fires. And although they have a season that's supposed to be forest fires, they said that this is the most active season, a record-breaking season for that matter. We know about the ozone, we know about the microscopic origin, and we know when the tsunami that you mentioned, the effect of the tsunami actually changing the axis of the earth. We have things that are happening in the news today that people have to, if they reflect, know that it has not happened, and certainly not in my recollection, in my half a century. I don't recall things like that, and clearly it's a manifested sign, something different, something that is pronounced, that's given to the world today. And one of the great signs we've gotten, one of the great things that happen during a time such as the day of Revelation is that the Almighty Supreme Lord of all worlds, the Creator, the source of all things, in a number of His holy books, will always first send a warner. Always first send out to the people, for those amongst the people and the many disbelieving in people in the world, those people who are believers, send out a messenger to them, and for those disbelievers, a warner to them. And we welcome the audience here to send warning. Holy Queen Mother.
One of the things I would like to say is that A.H.A.D moment is a program that is going to call you to look at your life situation and look at the world as a whole, look at your inner being. And one of the things that has been a blessing for us, we're not here to just hear ourselves talk. We're here with a purpose. We've been called to do a thing, and that is to call you to the Lord Most High. whether you take heed or not, that's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to give forth this message. If you want, you can investigate us, because Ahezaah has given us the ahead of time, the warnings, the signs, and all the events that's taking place now. We have already been given that, and it has been written. So if you want to check and see if we're true, then please investigate. We ask you to investigate. We just not asking you to flow on our words of what we're going to say on this show. We're opening up a book for you to investigate to see, are we telling the truth? We're asking you to go into your Bibles and read Malachi, go into your Bible, read Revelation. Then we have books, one book that has been published that you could also read in that book, and it tells about all these different events that's taking place. Then Ahezaah has given us the covenant for this day, and we're going to give that to you as much as Ahezaah allow us to give to you in this day and time. We may look at, everything will pass, but the Lord is here today and has sent a message of prophet as a warning, because the Lord is going to destroy the world. Now, if you don't believe that, then that's on you. But just look at this here. Ahezaah has allowed mosquitoes to take our lives. Mosquitoes. There is so much that's going on that we have been given privilege to aforehand. And that is something we would like to share with y'all. The crashing of the World Trade Center, the planes going into the World Trade Center, was just a sign for all you that will take heed. That was the beginning of the crash of the stock market. For all those who invest and put their faith in other than Ahezaah is going to tear you down with that you hold near to yourself. So we're here to pass forth this message, but we open the door for you to investigate, which you should investigate. And that's all I have to say, and I'm glad we're in Brooklyn.
May Ahezaah's peace and blessings be with me about your presence. Introducing myself, Holy-Apostle Deen Saleem, prophet of Ahezaah. Ahezaah, you hear us using that word, that's the new name of the Lord. Those of you who are familiar with the book of Revelations, Christians, in Revelation 5th chapter, it speaks about how I would have the new name of the Lord written on my being. I do have that name written on my being. There are certain things, that to most people today, they find it kind of far-fetched, because it's easy to believe that the Lord would send a messenger or a prophet in the past or one in the future. But when it comes to the Lord sending one in your day, your time, and it's hard to believe. My experience for the past 30 years is that because I speak the truth, people run from me. People don't want to deal with me. And I recognize that there's been many false prophets that has come before me, and they've had great followings. People like those who fantasize, who bend the truth, who make things palatable for them so they can consume it easily. They like people that compromise, and make it so that they believe that they're doing the greater good and that the Lord is very well pleased with them, which in essence, most of that is false. The Lord today is angry with man, the whole of humanity throughout earth. And the signs of those things are here presented before us today. In New Jersey, in Newark, we've been, in the Newark and surrounding areas, I've been working since 1979. I was given my appointment as in knowledge and my awareness of being Allah's prophet in 1993. Ever since that day, Ahezaah has been giving me more information, and it has given me information that was specific to various things happening to the world, to this nation. More than just what took place in 9/11. That was written about in the book of Revelation and easily explained. But this very thing about the planes being torn down from the sky, the Lord said to me one night that it was going to let man know that they could not, ride through its atmosphere without his permission, and it was going to start snatching the planes out of the sky. They snatched so many planes out of the sky since that day that they stopped talking about, the government stopped talking about the black box. They don't even speak about the black box where they get all the information. They can't understand what's going on. But you have certain factions of the government, the alphabet agencies, who are aware of me and my presence and the information that I bring. Part of the Divine Book of Recitation, which is the Book of the Seven Seal, is in the Library of Congress, and they are investigating it, and they, without your knowledge and awareness, many things that's in there has been even spoken of on in theater and commercials and what have you, and even them paying attention to what has been said about New York City or the New York area going underwater, and that's one of the reasons the insurance agencies stopped giving certain types of insurance to the people in Long Island or wherever, because they believe what I say. They will never mention me to you, but they believe what I say because many of the things that I've said have come to pass and is coming to pass, right down to the tsunami and the earth being turned off its axis, and the flooding in New Orleans, and the fires being burned over in California. Even the Lord said part of California is going under the water. So, with so many things, like the Lord saying the microscopic creatures would be turned against man. These things we talked about in mid-90s, and now after the year 2000, all these things is happening. Who can deny that the insects and the animals is turned against man and nature? Who can deny that the microscopic creatures have turned against man? Who can deny that there's an upheaval of earth and the chemicals and the ozone layer and things closing in on us? I know that people don't believe that the Lord is real and that the Lord is going to destroy mankind as it said it would. But what you need to understand as a people is that the Lord, when it speaks its words are not always clear to you or precise as to what you think they are. You see, for instance, the Lord said it would take this world down in fire, burn it down, and bombs would explode and so forth and so on. And it spoke through Nostradamus. Okay, people say Nostradamus was just a healer and a doctor, and and he was the madman. He went through all types of changes that the devil always put their people out. And one of the greatest tools of the devil today is this media that we're using to get through to you. They put their men out to denounce the things that Nostradamus was given to say, and to say that he was guessing, and like they would say, well, show me something, tell me something that is happening before it happened, and then I'll believe Nostradamus. Why wait till the things happen? Well, you gotta wait because of the type of prophecy that he gave. He didn't give an exact age. Even the Prophet Muhammad, for all you Muslims out there in Brooklyn, because I know there's a large audience of Muslims out there, Prophet Muhammad did not know when this day would come. He didn't know the time, the hour, and that's said specifically in the Holy Quran of the Muslims. And but the thing about it is, the government knows that I have said things before they've happened. And the government knows that it was prophesied that there will be many prophets, many ordinary people calling themselves prophets of the world today. And the Lord has allowed these people to come, allowed them to cover up some of the things I've said, allowed them to start educating people and bringing things into the theater, like I said, so that by the time the general population is aware of me and hear what I'm saying, they'll say, he got that from this, he got that from that, this is not real, that was said at this time, that time. Well, it's good that we have things that we've put in copyrighted and put dates on it for your convenience. But at the same time, it really don't matter. Regardless of what you do, the Lord is doing what He said it's going to do. Now, it's bringing this country down in fire, you know, and it's not just the physical fire that's happening out west. It's the firing up of our capital.
Yeah.
The destruction of our capital in these United States of America. The gen in this world, the elite, the rulers, those who are the advocates of Satan, who hide behind the scenes, they want to take over the world today. And they want to subdue the slaves of this nation. And people, you know, when I say slaves, let me correct that. The African-bred slaves, the ones that came from Africa. And we have a situation where we have another hero in Obama, Barack Obama, you know, that those who have enslaved a certain group of people in this nation have supported and put up.
Right.
In our history, those whom they put up for us, there's always some kind of catch to it, a trick to it. Even with Malcolm X, they waited till he died before they put him up.
Right.
Martin Luther King was assassinated by them because he was joining up with Elijah Muhammad, and then they put him up. Jesse Jackson didn't make out too well, so they couldn't put him up, you know. But, you know, they always try to pick the leaders for the people. Well, it's very important to them that they raise the African slave descendants up because they do want to take over the world. And it's a shame that for them, that another nation would say, well, what about your slaves? You want to get so involved in our country, but what about your slaves? You're not doing anything for those people. So that's part of the, you know, reason why they're subduing our people. But the thing about it is, our people is all people. Our people is mixed up with the races of all nations, all people in the world. And we're not just one people. We are groups of many people put together under this black skin, you know? And our spirits are all different because of that, you know? We're not just one nation. We are groups of people that make up a nation, and we have different types of thoughts and vibrations and spirits and ideologies, and we are only allowed to come forth and speak the ideologies that the government want spoken. Those who are a threat to the government and a threat to this to their standards is those who are really seeking liberation, freedom from being caught up in the thought patterns that's been put out here for the people to adhere to. Not just African Americans, but all people. You know, so that's where we're at. When the Lord sends his message down, it's not just a message in the divine book. It's not just a message about the holy. It's a message about the practical, the common folk, the normal people. And, you know, some people might say, well, you know, how can you prove that you are the messenger? Well, I have witnesses that may have thought the same thing, but in time, when they see things happening or they feel the Spirit of the Lord Most High, you know, when they can put their fingers on evidence that's concrete, and that's how it's proven. You know, my duty is not to prove to you that I'm the messenger of the Lord Most High. My duty is to deliver his message. Sometimes, you know, many times I go above and beyond my duty in trying to help improve certain things to you. But that's not really for me to do. It's not necessary. It's not my job. You know, it's for me to deliver these messages. And hopefully we can continue in our work and find a way to filter down information to you that you can sit down and study. Because one of the most beautiful things that the Lord Most High is doing with me is not just giving me lip service. It is giving me the written word where I will have to stand by once it's put down in ink. I have to stand by it. And it gives everybody an opportunity to prove me wrong. And over the past, I believe, maybe 15 years, threats of my life and things of that nature have taken place from, different communities of religion, mainly Islamic communities, and we have, at least I have, sent information from here to China, Arabia, Africa, to mosques and temples and what have you. And from what I was told, the only thing that people could say is, how did he know this?
Right.
Do he speak Arabic? No, I don't speak Arabic. I'm not that familiar with it. I know maybe 2 prayers, and when I say those prayers, I really don't know what I'm actually saying. I have to think about what I'm saying, go back into my mind as to what I'm saying. Like Halef means, I think it's how you doing? Something like that. I have to think about it, so I'm not fluent in any other language except common English, common American ghetto English, and the divine language that the Lord gives me in this tongue, but there's things that they recognize, just like the leaders of this government recognize. And yes, I did send letters to the President of the United States of America when Clinton was in office, and to the Congress and the Senate and various people of power, to allow them to know that their agencies, their secret governments, was doing things to me and my family, and that regardless of what they was doing, if they was to assassinate all of my family, that wouldn't stop me, because I'm the Lord's messenger. I'm not my own messenger, and things of the world is not capable of moving the Lord away from what it is doing. So those letters have been sent out to let them know that the Lord has commanded me to change my name from Samuel, who is the resurrected Lion of Judah, to Holy-Apostle Deen, so that everyone would know where I'm at, who I am, and that I couldn't hide. So I'm not one here like Jesus or Muhammad that's here to run to another city or town or country. I'm here and I am set, regardless of what any of the enemies of the Lord want to do to me or my family or our community or whatever. I am here. There's no place to run, no place to hide, and my fear is only for the Lord Most High.
And truly strong words, those are the ultimate words of truth. Lord, you were saying, and I address you as Lord because properly you're Lord Holy-Apostle Deen Saleem. It's a title and it's a name properly to address you. You're the one who's carrying the word that's going to lord over all the people.
Yes, the same as Jesus and Muhammad were lords. All the prophets that were unified with the Lord Most High are lords because of its unity, its unionizing with them, its communion with them. The true Lord is the Lord Most High, but it has commanded us to be looked upon as lords under it. And you have men who imitate the prophets, the holy, people of the holy, and call themselves divine men, like the so-called divine reminder in Chicago, and the A.H.A.D who's just passed, so-called, and the Pope, the Father, Holy Father. All these people imitate the true men and call themselves saints and everything else, but even out in England, they've gone so far to take the general men of leadership, calling them lords. The Lords of London and what have you. House of Lords and Commons and what have you. But the true Lord is El. Right. Definite article of everything that exists. The definite, essential, the most essential thing, or the real essential thing of everything. And it is the one that has commanded that I be Lord, because like Muhammad, Jesus and some of the others, not all of them, but some of the others, like Enoch, the Lord is with me in threefold divine union, or divine threefold union, where there's Gabriel and Ahezaah and myself unified. That's neither here nor there to be proven.
Right.
But for those who believe, the Lord has favor for them and will show them signs of that truth. So
many things that Ahezaah manifest here for those who watch this program. A trial of life that the Lord sent down to mankind is that it always raises up a person up to itself and send him back as a guide. And the trial on the people is, can this man be truly from the Lord? Or is he from himself? Or, what is he trying to represent? Now, if you are patient, if you continue watching these programs and be patient and taking the information, the Lord in time will give you of his understanding that you can see the words of truth that are being manifested here from the servant of Ahezaah to you. And you will be on your journey to come into self-realization, that the Lord had blessed mankind before it destroys this world as we know it, and sent a warning and a guide to call them back to the way of righteousness and the way of truth and the way that is sent down of his covenant, this agreement for this hour of the day. And we are being blessed by the Lord Most High to be witness bearers to this messenger and to the Lord of all the worlds, who have graced mankind in this hour of the day to come down into the world of mankind and give forth of his message through this man, to give forth to you an opportunity to be for or against, whatever corner, because you're going to either serve two sides. You're going to serve the side of the Lord or of the side of the devil, the Antichrist, the doers of evil in this society. So with that, there's a lot of things to think about, and I know we dropped a lot in this half-hour program, but we want you to think about what's being said here, Any final words from anyone?
I think we
got it about a minute.
I would just like to say, may I use this peace and blessings be with them about your presence. I hope that you tune in to our program because it's a very informative program. I am not, going to say exactly what we'll talk about because the Lord guides us in what we say. We do not prepare before we sit before the camera. We just sit before the camera and just speak. And so, may I use this peace and blessings be with them about your presence.
One consistent, it's always heavy, it's always dynamic, it's always informative. I find it's always wisdom. Wisdom. In this day's language, this day's not the language of the world.
Well, that sounds like our cue.
Yes. With that being said, you want to reach us via the internet or through letter parcel. You can reach us at A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795.
To keep up with keeping your lives tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?